Okay, so this is gonna be like a review on like some shortcuts that you guys might find useful in like VS Code and then the terminal. I'm also probably gonna cover like good Git practices and I have like an open Q&A towards the end for like JavaScript or and show you guys like how you guys might see JavaScript differently. So first things I'm gonna show you guys is I guess terminal stuff. If you guys have like a line that you guys don't really want, you guys can do like Control U and that would clear your entire line. Otherwise, another command that you guys could do is if you guys like had stuff that you guys want to keep, like you didn't want to backspace all the way, you can do like a Command K and that would clear after your cursor. There's another one that is, I guess if you wanted to do Command A, that brings you to the very beginning. And then you guys can clear with Command K. And then there's one that's delete word, but I couldn't remember, couldn't find it. One second. Oh, it's just Command W, Command Control W. So like if you have there's spaces there, Command W will delete the word. I'm gonna Command do that. Other thing is if you guys have like, I'm just gonna like spam this a bit. If you guys wanted to like clear your terminal, you guys can just type clear and it will clear out what you currently have on your screen. This is a shortcut that you guys won't probably be using now, but it will be helpful later on so that you guys don't have a lot of terminal windows open, which is Command D. It splits your thing into two panes, so like you can like have two separate things running. I'll show you guys an example real quick. That should take me back to desktop of like why you guys might want to use this, like CD final. When you guys start working with Ruby on Rails, okay, I'm just gonna close that window, do a new window. So when you do a Command D, it should carry over which folder you're currently in. And then when you guys work on your final project, you're gonna have kind of two instances of like stuff running on your computer that you need running because you were gonna have your database be running on Rails. So that would be like a Rails start. Wait, S-P 2001 because we're gonna put it on a different thing and then join start. So this is just good to know later for stuff later. You guys won't be doing this for a bit. Why did that say? Oh, this project won't actually run because it's not up to date. CD that up. CD, I think it's in 5. Another kind of shortcut. If you kind of like, if I do an ls here, you should see like kind of like what you have. And then if you do a CD and then like unique indicators, like 5 is unique to week 5, there is no other 5. And you push tab, it will autocomplete kind of like going to that thing. And then like you can just push enter and it will take you to where you are. Guess here. So if I CD into my starter, you guys will be making one of these later on. CD into client. I believe join start should work. If I could spell start. No, this also doesn't work. Why? Wait, click down. This is updated, right? Source JSON. That is, yeah, that. Oh no, it isn't starting. I'll need to debug that a bit later. I wonder if I got rid of something. But so having the two windows helps because you guys like instead of having like two separate terminal windows, you could just have one terminal that is kind of split. If you wanted to split it vertically, so like cut this in half, you would do a Command Shift D, and that would just split them vertically. I'm gonna close all of these. You guys can also chain commands. So like if you wanted to like cd, I'm gonna assume this is back to, okay. So if I wanted to like cd back into my, I'm gonna cd into Spring real quick. DTL Spring, and then homework 1. You can kind of chain commands. So if I cd back and I cd into homework 1, you can do an and here and code dot, and that will cd you both into the folder and open the VS Code. Since we're in VS Code now, so easy shortcuts in a sense for VS Code is Command X. Doesn't matter where you are in the line, it kind of removes the line, and then you can paste it back in just easily. You can do that with Command C too. So like you can copy in like the middle of the line and paste, and it will like, I guess that, okay. So if I do like Command C here and I paste right above it, it will paste what I copied. You don't have to like highlight a section if you want the entire line. Another shortcut is if you're trying to copy multiple lines, Shift Option, and then push up or down. And then it will, if you push up, it puts it above. If you push down, it puts it below. Gonna cut. Command that.
What was the command for that one you just said? Please repeat it.
Like copying this line is Shift Option. If you're just trying to do the same line over and over again, Shift Option, and then arrow key up or down. I guess like,
okay, thanks.
201. You can do that with multiple lines as well. So like if you highlight 2 lines, you can do a Shift Option, and then it copies multiple lines. I'm gonna cut those. Someone asked about this yesterday and they figured it out themselves, but if you wanted to like select multiple lines, just hold down the Option key and then just click where you want. Like, so all of these is like on the same line. I'm gonna like do this here. So like any action you do like carries over to wherever your other cursor is. So like Control S would delete both those lines. Trying to think of what other shortcuts. If you wanted to like open up more space, Command B closes that drawer, and you can reopen it with Command B. Command Control 2. Oh, I don't know what that did. Control. Should be Control Tilde. Control Tilde opens up the terminal here. If you guys just want the terminal here. Generally slightly better to have it here because you get like a bit more space if you're trying to troubleshoot. You will just like swipe over and have it. I know some of you guys are new to Macs. I believe 3-finger swipe should just be a default where you guys can swipe between windows.
I have a question about that because James mentioned the 3-finger swipe. Could you explain that more? Like what is it? What are you swiping exactly?
So 3-finger swipe on your like trackpad should allow you to like swipe between windows easily. So like this is just like a random desktop. So like I guess 3-finger swipe up kind of opens up like how many like desktops you guys have, and then the 3-finger swipe just moves you between the desktops.
Oh, so is that only if you have a trackpad?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I think there might be key commands to switch between desktops. I know there are some for Windows, but I don't remember off the top of my head what they are because I don't really use multiple desktops on a Windows computer.
Okay, I'll Google it. Thanks.
Trying to think. Oh, this is, I'm gonna like give you guys a small snippet on like code, like how you guys should be handling your Git commits. When you guys are going to be working on like later projects, I recommend you guys to one, Git add and Git commit often, but make sure your messages are useful when you're Git committing so that you get into a good habit of leaving meaningful messages. Because you guys will be working on group projects later. This is an example of a group project that I worked on during the cohort. You guys will have probably a couple group assignments and then 2 hackathons and then a final project where you guys will be working with multiple people. When you guys leave your guys' Git commit messages, try to have them be useful. So like if someone were to like scroll down like a commit log, they would know like what you did and what you were working on. Like, so like over here, if I scroll down and I want to like see what commits people have worked on, I can see that this was a merge. This is headshots because we needed to upload our pictures. And then like, this is like adding staff. This is resizing people's images. If you guys kind of like don't leave good messages, it can be like I guess these are like good examples. So this is a good example. I don't know what she did. And like, I would have to like go in and look at like multiple files to like see if what she worked on would conflict with whatever I've worked on. So like having like a good message, like mine is like right above it, question page church styling. You know what I worked on, you kind of like see if it like would affect what you've had. It's also like good for you to kind of leave good commit messages because like Michaela here was like, at least it's alphabetical. She probably had stuff that she was working on and she at least got it to a point where it's at least something instead of being not something. Like I guess another, did I close? Oh, I know what I did when I did something. I'm gonna see that takes me, this should be desktop. Also, I recommend navigating through terminal, even if it might be a bit harder, because it can be faster than like opening up a finder and then trying to find where you specifically are. Because if like I can probably like go here and go here, but going through terminal, getting used to it is generally like slightly faster. I forgot the degree. Slightly faster than like going to Finder, finding it where it is. Because if you have it not on your desktop, finding where something is can be slightly more complicated if unless you like, and like, yeah. I don't know how to explain it, but like I generally like to navigate through terminal if I'm trying to open up a coding project rather than like trying to find a specific folder, because it's slightly faster to type than to like visually glance at something. Okay, this is what I closed earlier by accident. When you guys are like looking at examples online for some things with JavaScript, sometimes you might not find it in the same format that we're teaching you. Like we teach you guys like, I'm just gonna go back here. So we teach you guys to import React from something like this in this format. And then this is how you would export it. But sometimes when you're coding something else that isn't a web page, it might not support that formatting. Like this is a Discord bot that I was working on for a bit, like just to like learn JavaScript a bit better. The usage changed, like in a sense, like it does, like because this is supporting an older version of JavaScript. So instead of having the ability to like import stuff, okay, I want to say it's an older version of JavaScript. It doesn't support the current usage of EMCA 2016 that requires you to like declare what you have. So like you have to declare it and then use the keyword require, and then the thing that you're pulling it from. And then this is how you would export instead of like how we are currently exporting with like export default so and so. So this is just to give you guys a glimpse at like how you guys might run into like JavaScript that isn't our JavaScript that we're teaching you in the course. It functions the same, but it's just different way of writing it. I would say you're probably gonna see the version of JavaScript that we're teaching you more as people update to like the newer versions. But if you were to like start working at a place and they didn't update, you might run into older code, and just to like not freak you guys out, but like it might be formatted differently and you just adapt to it. I think that was all I wanted to really speak to you guys about. And like, I guess the rest of the time is, do you guys want me to like kind of like walk you guys through some homework problems that you guys are struggling with, or anything?
That would be awesome. Like, I personally, and from what I've heard from some other people, I would love some walkthroughs, some functions. That'd be great.
Okay, so that was homework 1, right? For these.
Yes.
I've taken a glimpse of these, but I haven't attempted them, as you can tell. So you guys can, I guess, watch as I try to work out.
Yeah, I was just saying it'd be really like nice to see you doing it from scratch, so we know kind of what our process is, you know?
Yeah. I guess, do you have a specific number? Also, is Randy in here? Because I know Randy said he wanted me to let him know when I started on working on JavaScript.
Oh,
Yes.
I'll shoot him a message in Slack.
Okay. But it's Trina speaking, right?
Yep. Yep, this is Trina.
Sorry, I don't have indication of who's speaking, so I'm guessing. Do you have a specific number you want me to walk through?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Can we do look real quick what it was? Number 6.
Number 6. Okay, a function that takes the object. Which one is a formatted string? Okay. So let's see. So first things first. I don't know when my tab changed, but it changed to be slightly different. Gonna take a const and declare person object person, and then set this equal to this thing that we're having you look at, because we're returning Josmo is so that is our person's object. So when we do a, I'll give him like 5, 10, 20 seconds and take like a small water break to join.
Okay, sweet.
Okay, so we're gonna be walking through number 6, which is we're taking the person's object with the first name Joe, last name Smo, and age 50, and we're gonna pass that into a function and have that spit out the string Joe Smo is 50 years old. So first thing is you're gonna name your function. It doesn't matter what you name it. It's helpful to name the function descriptive to what it's gonna do. So I'm gonna call this formatted string. So basic arrow function. This is gonna be that. Within these parentheses, you're passing an argument. So in our case, we're gonna be passing a person's object. So this is, I'm not gonna call it directly person. I'm gonna call it info, because it's gonna be the person's info. So you can one line this in a sense by like having it just return. You're gonna want, okay, so I'm gonna quickly go through. So you have double quotes, you have single quotes, and then you have the backticks. If you're ever going to be taking variables, backticks is the way to go, because with backticks, you can like return backtick and then have the curly brackets and like that. That took slightly more for than it should. You can have the $ curly bracket and then like go info dot first name, and it will know that it's taking an information that is code related and gonna stick that information in. You can't do that with single quotes or double quotes. If your thing is just gonna be like characters, single or double quotes is the way to go. I think I've seen people recommend going with more single quotes than double quotes. So you might see like a lot more single quotes when you really look up code. Let's see. If you ever wanted to like have like an apostrophe, by the way, like I apostrophe am, like I'm, you're gonna run into the issue where like that's the same character. Just put a /, and then it will treat that as like as its own character. But going back to this, so like in this we're returning Joe Smo, so that should be Joe's first name, and then that.
Can I ask something? On the return, if you didn't do the interpolation, like if you just put return and then info dot first name, what would happen in that case?
It should just return Joe. Like so. Wait. I'm gonna do that. So are you saying if I just did a return info dot first name?
Yeah.
It would just return Joe.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so it wouldn't return. Okay, it wouldn't return the data that's like we're putting in or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I think I'll keep watching. It's okay. I think I get what you're saying.
Okay. So this is formatting it. So we have this apostrophe. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's well, text. There's a small tick here. And then we're gonna fill this in with the format that we want. So Joe Schmo is, and then $ curly's, info dot age, years, code, and then just gonna like comment everything about this out, just so that there isn't like a bunch of console logs. Gonna change that to 1 because option, 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 option. Man, yeah. Quick comment out, command question mark. Just gonna repeat that. I know James told you guys that multiple times, I think. And then I guess remember to console log your like log formatted string with person. Okay. Another thing. I've told some of you guys this. Don't know which ones of you guys have told and which ones I haven't. But if you're typing something like this, if you like highlight the option that you want, you can push tab and it will autocomplete for you. That's nice for importing stuff as well, because sometimes you might be like importing a third-party library, and if you don't import it correctly, it might not run correctly. Knowing where the stuff is also important. So if you're importing like between homework assignments, it's good practice for you to like kind of like know okay, I'm gonna quickly code that. So like it's good to like know like how to get to a specific file. So like this is in here, I would go dot dot so that I went back out of this folder and then I go into my responses. And then that's where the file that I'm looking for is. It's good practice to kind of like be able to trace where a specific file is in case like if I wanted to move this to like a different folder, this way I asked, are you sure? But like this did update because I have auto update, but it depending on like what you're working on, it might not automatically update to the correct location, and then you would have to like figure out where the location is. So knowing how to get to a specific file is good. Other thing is that so within VS Code, sorry, I'm backtracking out of the going over this assignment to cover other VS Code stuff. You can stash changes, which kind of like like it doesn't save your changes that to be pushed up, but it will keep like a record of like what you've changed, and you can pop it back out later if you want those changes. You can also like undo all the current changes that aren't committed. And I'm just gonna do that real quick because I don't think I want any of those changes. And that returns it back to like the last state it was in. But I'll get back to this. So now if I do a node, I gotta save homework 1, it gives me back the formatted string. Does that help you with the formatted string?
Yeah, you broke that down pretty good to me.
Yeah, that was like so much easier than I was like making it when I was doing it on my own.
Yeah, that made it sound way better. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a related tip for VS Code. VS Code will tell you if like you have lines that aren't going to be run by, if they're not highlighted, you're not using it, or it's not going to hit that code. Sometimes it will tell you like this bubble should be telling me it's unreachable code because I'm hitting the return and it's leaving immediately. So if you're ever,
oh sorry, go ahead.
So I'm gonna like quickly copy that. So like Command Z. If you ever have like arguments in a function and they like stay unhighlighted, that means you're not using it. And if you are expecting to use it, you might be running into an issue.
You said if it stays highlighted, unhighlighted.
So, yeah, so like if I just have like, I guess if I just do like a let string equals, and then I'm just gonna copy this. I could just like, in a sense, return string. I'm not using info, but I would still get the same result. But because I'm not using info isn't really ever being used, and that would be an indicator that you're not using an argument you're expecting to use. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, that does.
Yeah.
With the interpolation part, so the only reason you interpolated there was so that you could put the string with it and make the formatted string, right? Up there on the first.
Over here?
Yeah, the only reason you interpolated it was so that you could add the string like the is and the years old. That's how you formatted it. Like, yeah. Okay. All right.
So
I
this
forgot
is
what did you say the dollar sign did exactly?
So so it's not just the dollar sign, it's like the dollar sign curly brackets. The dollar sign itself doesn't do anything, like this isn't anything. But when you add the curly brackets, it's telling it to kind of like expect a thing to like be happening here. So like if I just type in info, it's like it knows to like grab the info and just like spit it here. So like if I want this right now, it tells me it's an object because info is an object. So the curly bracket is just telling the code that it's going to be grabbing information from like another location. Like I could do like a let x equals 4, and then I could have x here, and it will just print out that 4. Like, well,
So,
if I typed in an
so-
x.
so it's basically telling JavaScript to like evaluate it, like do the
Yeah.
expression that's in there or whatever, like do whatever's in those curly.
Yep.
Okay.
Gonna cd dot slash dot. That should take me to the desktop. I'm gonna go into. Oh, I have triple dots there. Oh, terminal shortcut push up. It will bring you the last line of code. Other terminal shortcut would be like CD, and then you can push up, and it will only give you the CDs that you've done. So like that's how you like kind of stop me. Like if I type in whale, you can like kind of like see I've messed up stuff before, and like because the whale was actually brought something else that wasn't error sound. If you start typing in something and you push up or down, it will bring you like the last lines of code that you've typed before. So if you want to like narrow it down, like if you want to like redo a path that you've done repeatedly, you could start it with that. So like cd dot slash dot slash, that should be desktop spring CPL spring. Oh wait, I want to go to fall. And then final project. I know I had something that I was going to comment on. Okay, wait. I lost my train of thought. Try to something else. Oh, okay. So when you're running JSX, I'm gonna close this project because that doesn't. I hit save. Well, I know what I'm not committing there. I think we had examples of it here. I don't. Okay. So, okay, wait, fine. We'll show it if we get to React, if you guys have React questions, but if you guys don't, we'll stay on the JavaScript stuff. Did you guys want me to run through like another problem?
Sure. If everyone else is okay, I wouldn't mind seeing another one.
Number 4.
Number 4 on the functions.
Yes.
So this is an argument. It's taking a math operator, 2 numbers, and you're going to return the result of the math operator that you chose. So we're going to do a const. I don't know, calc is equal to. So this is going to be 3 arguments. So we want an op, because that's the operator that we're going to be passing it. Num1 and num2. I need a comma there, save that. And then just real quick, I'm going to go into the console.log for calc, and someone give me a math operator.
Times.
And then I'm just going to pick, I guess, 2 numbers. So 2 and 5. So we're going to expect this to give out 10 when we're done. So you're going to want for this one, basically, you're going to check to see if the operator that is being passed matches James is messaging Steve, and I'm looking at the messages. We're going to have an if else loop here, which is like if op is equal to start. I guess it's technically better to start with plus because we start with, no, wait, that is, why does that start star? Else if, and then that is what I meant to do. Op is equal to division. Because so this is basically checking the math operator, seeing which one it is. And then I'm gonna highlight this and do an option shift down twice, just so I don't have to keep copying the code, but I should have gotten rid of that first. And then I'm just gonna add on extra else, only because if the math operator doesn't matches any of these cases, I want it to console log. Single quotes, op is not a supported operator. So addition and then subtraction. So this if loop is going to start here, should return num1 times num2. I'm gonna realize I could have just copied this. Option, hit the wrong space. Option, 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 paste. Paste. Change this to division, change this to addition, and then change this to subtraction. And then this should work unless I have my else if following. That's one to code. Joe Small is still 50 years old. I'm gonna comment this out. So that is the calculator. You're basically passing an argument that is an operator. It's checking to see which operator it's gonna run. And then it's gonna return the operation. So like if I were to have this like the A, I expect it to say op is not an operator. If you wanted, you could get creative with this and like have this be interpolating and then have like $sign font, not A, op. And then when I want this, it should say, stare at that. A op. What is that console log at the end though? Oh, it's because I'm console logging a console log. This isn't return. This return. This return's undefined, but I guess I could have return a string. Oh, I'm just gonna copy the. I don't have enough trackpad space. Paste. And X. And I should get rid of the undefined. So if we wanted to change the operator to another supported operator to make sure that, yeah. Does that work for you guys with that problem?
So question now, so now say you put in the plus sign, now it's gonna, it should equal, what do you have? What's the numbers at the bottom? 5 and 2?
Yeah.
So it should equal 7, right? And then if you do the plus. Now, if you do the minus, it's going to equal what, like -3?
I would hope -3. Yeah, -3.
Okay, yeah, I understand that.
And you guys saw this highlight as I was going through the operators, right? Basically, as it's filled in num1, num2, you kind of like see that it's like, yeah, you're using this variable, you've passed me this variable. Sometimes you can have a thing that will alert you if you have a variable that isn't highlighted. I would like underline it's like this variable isn't used. Are you sure you want it? kind of thing. Did you guys have another function you guys wanted to go through, or like anything else on the other homeworks?
The only thing I have is I still can't get my backspace to work for my keyboard.
But before you switch over to that, can you at least kind of lead us on the right direction to number? What about the ternary? Number 10. What is a? I was gonna ask, what is a
So
ternary again?
I'll do this one really quick. It's not comment this one up though. So for this one, your basic, so a ternary is an if else check. So like you would have like a const OE auto even. Make better names than I do. So a ternary is so if you can do like a one-line return. So like return to like not to I guess I need a num here. So return num mod 2 equal 0. This is, and then you start the ternary off with like a question mark. So the question mark is checking if the thing in front of it is true or false. So this is going to check num mod 2 is equal to 0. If true, then you're gonna like return
True.
a string even.
Even.
And then the colon denotes the false statement. So like, so num mod 2, if true, even, else, odd. It's basically that. And I believe this is just one. So if I do a console.log OEE and then like 17 and run it. I don't like the zoom zoom thing. Let's see. So log OEE is not. Oh, I typed OOE, not OEE. So 17 is odd. It's basically just condensing an if statement to one line. But only an if. Like you can't do like an if else, because it will only check if true or not. Let's see. I'm gonna close out of this. So cd dot dot slash spring slash. Okay. The autocomplete works, but if you're backtracking multiple things like I do, you have to lead it. You have to give it the starting values, or else it won't know. Not code dot here. ls. Cd into tests. ls. Okay, yeah. Code dot. So for the backspace option, for the keyboard, gonna have this.
See, well, I'm trying to alter my original keyboard because I like the layout. I did the normal one and I didn't like how it looked, so I put mine in there. So I still need to alter it a little bit so I don't have as many consts. But so I'm not sure what I need to do to mine specifically to make it work. If that makes
I guess does your does your backspace just not do anything at the moment? Or are you trying to get it to like actually remove a character?
I'm trying to get it to actually remove a character. I have the format up and everything, and I've inserted a few values like -1, but it just put to -1 rather than subtracting 1. So I didn't know what I needed to put in order to actually get it to remove the last inserted character.
Okay, so I'm gonna quickly demo I guess the backspace. So backspace. when you're calling an on-click, make sure you have this be an anonymous function in here. This is basically the formatting of an anonymous function. You have parentheses, arrows, an object. If you don't have it be an anonymous function, it will just kind of run this thing all the time, and you can run into an infinite loop that way. I'm gonna have this one backspace that I'm gonna define as a function, but I haven't called a function for that yet. So copy that, backspace. So currently backspace is gonna just add a letter. I don't need to pass it a thing. So for the backspace, you kind of want to take like your word, and then you're gonna manipulate word. So if you like, I guess, look on, oh, by the way, this is a website. If you guys ever run into like a Git issue, there's probably an explanation on it on this website. If you guys want to look at it, I can send the link out for this.
Oh, that'd be
Later.
cool. Yeah. Thank you.
But what is it? If you guys go to the Mozilla site, just gonna, and you guys look up string, it gives you kind of like ways you guys can manipulate a string. So like, if you're trying to remove a character, splice is a method. I'm just gonna control F, slice, not splice. Slice is a method that can like extract a section of your string and return a new string. So because we're using set word, we're just gonna take our word that we have and do a dot slice on it. And if we're just backspacing, we wanna keep all the characters that we had. So we start at 0 because a splice is gonna like, you want to give a beginning index and an end index for our case, because we want our beginning and we want our end to be slightly, if we want our end, like we want to choose an endpoint. So we would want to start at 0, and then we want to go to like our words dot length, because that will give you a number of how many letters is in your word. And then if we're just removing the last letter off that word, we'll just be subtracting. So then saving that, start. I hope it doesn't give me an error. There we go. I don't know why the other one didn't work. So if we backspace, it sliced off the last letter. So like was
Okay.
with less these now.
Can you go back to your code? I was trying to follow along and type at the same time. So const backspace with the equals parenthesis set word slice. So we're slicing, and we hit parenthesis, and then so the 0 there is that's
0 is just like your starting value. So I'm gonna go back to the documentation because this is a slice documentation.
Mhm.
For the syntax, you want to give it the beginning index and the end index.
Okay. So
You
those
cannot just have the beginning index if you're trying to like cut a certain amount. Like if I didn't want any of word, I would start at like 4. But because we want the beginning of our string, we start with 0, and then we go to where we're trying to cut off.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. Yeah. Okay.
So that is why we're taking word dot length, because word dot length will spit you back out. Like if I do a console dot log word dot length, let's save that. If I go here, right click, inspect console. So every time I want backspace, it will give me like the word dot length that I have. So like, I guess I could make that a bit more clear. Useful tip, don't have just like console log or something. Generally leave it like a note so that when you're tracing back your error, like this is word length, instead of just having like word 4 dB to like 5 4 dB.
Yeah.
Now it's if I refresh the page, I guess. Now it will give me, is it working?
Okay, that makes
Actually,
sense.
I need to backspace. That will give me like a useful indicator of like what it actually is instead of 5, 6. It's more helpful for you in a sense to
Yeah.
debug.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Could you Slack that code from the one with the strings? I want to stew over that some more, please.
Wait, which one is the string?
The one that where you put in like a plus number, the one, let's see.
I'm installing code down. So is it the formatted string?
Yeah, that one. Yep, the formatted string.
Okay,
Or no, yeah, the one that had like, no, that's not it. Sorry, the one after that we did.
Wait, the
The one with
ternary
the
or
no, other that
Calculate?
one right there. Yeah, that one. Thank you.
okay. Slack. I'll hit Slack eventually. Gonna move this back. Not backslash. So Slack to do a code block, do a backticks, and then paste your code. It will format it in a code block like this. You can do, yeah, you just do a backticks. If you do a backticks and then like shift enters, it will separate that after like 2 or 3 enters. And then you can type around your code block if you wanted. I don't know what I was trying to say there.
That was all helpful. Thanks.
Yes, thank you.
think
So
I have, like-
while you're still here, just to see like a bonus on homework 2, can you do either just one of the every or one of the sum, just so I have a general basis of how to do the other ones? Because I at least want to attempt to do one of the bonuses. So whichever you prefer, the every or the sum.
Yeah,
Do any one of them, just so I have a basis of one of them.
I don't use the every method very often. So I'm just gonna go over here, type in every, and that's the one that I'm looking for. So this is I'm gonna look at this real quick. Okay. So then over here, we would wanna do a const c is equal to characters because we're gonna be manipulating the array. The every. Gonna go back here. So probably want to call back function. We'll just, I wonder if I could just do every. This is not a method I use ever, because I don't really ever do an every or some. So I want to look at characters.i. So really quick, I'm just gonna copy one of these. Not mean to do fingers right there. Scroll back down. I'm gonna paste this as an example of data that I'll be looking at just to make sure I can get to it. Every character, so I will format this as a function. Only because I think that would be easier. So every C C dot name E not C dot what is this? Every eye color is blue. Wonder if that would just return a true
It would need to
false.
be blue as a string, right, to match your.
Yeah. Would not have caught that for a bit because I was just gonna do a console.log right here and then C. Uh, change that to, oh, wait, why am I see? Oh, this should be a node homework too. I don't know what the W is. The W is this. I was messing with this.
Now, is the one saying that only one person is identifying with the blue eyes?
No, the one was something else. I didn't catch that I had random code at the bottom of my thing that wasn't being used. So
Oh, okay, so now it's saying false.
yep. So this is checking every character's eye color to be blue, and then they're not. So like, I guess I'm gonna guess some is pretty similar to this. I'm just gonna copy this. Go down here. I'm gonna make this every blue. This is
Now, if
gonna
I'm not
be,
mistaken, you're most likely gonna have to change every to some.
yeah, I think I'm gonna really quickly change those though. Copy that, paste that, some. And then just to make sure, because I don't use some either, so some, make sure that this can take a callback function. It does. So then if I want node, and it says false, that should say true.
I mean, what is, I'm sorry.
Hmm. So, okay, going off of that example that we have later on. Press enter. Don't think I actually need that, and I can just do C dot eye color. Because this right here is saying you can just return and do a comparison. So if I do return eye color, okay, there check is a function. Okay, so yeah, no, I did have it as a function. Guess this isn't returning, which means this wasn't returning. Okay, yeah, I was just missing a return. Return for the false anyway.
Now, the
But
first one is
assembly.
just saying false because you didn't slack the top part out right, and then the second one's saying true because one of them does have blue.
This one was saying false either way.
It's
only
asking
because-
every character.
Yeah, but not every character, but also it would have returned false even if every character had blue. Like if I had blue here and I had blue here, it would have returned false the way I had it before. If I saved that and got rid of this, I'm pretty sure it would still return false. I needed the return here. I forgot to stick in my return. So just know, people make mistakes. People forget their returns. Just try to remember more. So yeah, without the return, it would have kept returning false no matter what. I'm gonna change these back.
That smile. Fucking don't, bro. Fucking insults. Are you serious? Serious?
Okay, but yeah, that's the every and the sum.
There are three things that belong to a man that you cannot touch: his partner, his money, and his food. And this
Who's
is not
watching
a
a
Venn
YouTube
diagram,
video?
okay? Just so you have his partner does not.
Austin, I think you're not muted.
Situation where
Did you guys have any questions on any of the other problems? No.
I think I'm good. Thank you for your help.
Wait. Did you guys hear? Did I forget? This is okay. This is recording. Okay. There's not a good indicator. But if that's it, I'm gonna stop the recording.
Yeah, I
and
feel
you
like
guys-
now I have enough examples and like a little more detail on the functions. Now I kind of do feel a little more confident. So with the information you're giving me now, I'd like to try to test it and try myself on the homeworks and try to complete it all now.
Okay.
And then if I do have questions, just I'll get back to you on Slack. But right now I feel like I have enough information now where I can kind of get to trial and error and test my theories out now.